Welcome to the First World Privilege Hour. I'm Zach Powers. Your regular host, Dr. Joseph Mengele, has fled the country after a second coconut to the head has caused him to regain his memories and recall he is a Nazi war criminal. Bombings in Mumbai have reinforced tension between India and Pakistan. The nation's long-standing feud is perhaps the most tense What?
You know what I want to talk about this week?
Della fai turtei, venenda minga i suoi fredde polla frittata, venenda minga crabadela, papela della fai turtei, venenda minga i suoi fredde. Crabadela con la parrucca, forse potrai guarire.
Welcome to the First World Privilege Hour. I am Zach, the totalitarian landlord Powers. With me, as always, are Brian, the affable hobo Flynn.
Shopping cart full of trash.
And Pat, the sassy parrot Medaugh.
Squawk, I hate all of you.
Before we get into the main part of the podcast,
The main thrust,
I would like to remind everybody that you should subscribe to this show if you enjoy it, and
review it favorably.
If you feel like you must leave a negative review, I encourage you to make it super racist. So that people will think only racist people dislike this show.
Or you could give a review by means of brick through the window with a note tied to it that says 1 star on it or something of that nature.
Yeah, because that won't show up on our iTunes.
One thumb up.
So, do that if you want to. And also, I guess we should briefly mention that we had our first
installment of the Denver Comedy Co-op presents.
Yes, and it went exceedingly well. Hopefully you guys can come next month.
At the Rooster and Moon, August 15th. We also have a show at the Interstate on Santa Fe and
10th and Santa Fe.
At 10th and Santa Fe on August 8th. It is after the spelling bee, which is
a lot of fun if you like spelling and
if you like booze. If you like booze and spelling, that's
you
right in your wheelhouse.
You won't lose anything if you fail the spelling bee.
No.
There's no grades being kept.
No one mocks you.
I spell better when I'm drunk, honestly.
Me too.
I learned how to do the alphabet backwards ever since I was a kid, and it's like firmly ingrained in my brain. I don't think there's a blood alcohol level I could possess where I wouldn't be able to do that. So that's
interestingly enough
to have. I
know somebody who I'll bet could type the alphabet backwards, and that somebody is a dog.
A dog?
A dog?
Dogs.
But I hate dogs. No dogs.
That's the main theme. That's the subject we're discussing this week is Cool Dog. The dog himself, Rainey, is fairly polarizing. 90% of people immediately upon sight of him say, oh, that's the coolest dog I have ever seen in my entire life.
Self-evidently cool.
About 10% of the people in this movie, upon seeing the dog, they're like, oh, I want to kill that immediately.
Those people tend to have sociopathic tendencies to begin with.
And they're just like, caricatures of ugly people almost in just how outlandish they look.
Also, a good portion of those people who hate Rainey end up being murdered by Rainey.
I think that we're getting ahead of ourselves, however, because I think we should start with the plot of
All right,
this
here's the plot, and
heartwarming story.
I'm reading this from the Wikipedia.
I think we should spice it up a little more than just reading it from Wikipedia.
Okay, it's pretty good, though.
Try to recall it.
Give our paying customers something.
Yeah. Well, the Wikipedia page, like Cool Dog, it has some continuity in that they're both very poorly made. Young boy Jimmy and his dog Rainey, a German Shepherd dog, are best friends together. Jimmy's mother. Yeah. Jimmy's mother was dead.
Was dead.
And when Jimmy's dad gets a promotion,
and it's a very morbid tale.
In the movie, it's brought up as immediately as in the Wikipedia page. The stepmom and the dad get into a fight. They're like, we got to move to New York because this is a big promotion and you're going to like it, Jimmy. Even if you have to leave your best friend dog, who's a hero, has saved multiple lives. You have to leave him behind. And your mom who's dead. You have to leave her behind too.
Well, has little bearing on the movement of the story.
Well, it's just the dad says like there's no mention of it beforehand, and then the dad's like, his mom's dead. He's going through a lot. Cut to graveyard.
I also feel like it'd be a lot more traumatic if his parents encouraged him to dig up the body of his deceased mother and bring it with them when they move.
But it's important to point out, with this initial conflict, that they're moving to New York. Well, Rainey has already saved, in the first few minutes of the movie, saved a young girl's life. She fell off her bike, and she almost fell to her death. She was dangling off a bridge because she was riding really close to the edge of a huge bridge.
And
on, like,
she
a
fell off
track.
a railing that was easily taller than she was.
Yeah.
Off the railing onto a girder that was even farther out. Like, there's no feasible way she could have fallen this badly.
If you're that bad at biking, don't go on a fucking bridge.
Yeah. So,
Don't do it. Don't bike on the lip of a canyon.
Cool Dog
Don't
saves
go
her.
on a bridge. It's that simple.
I'm just learning to ride a bike. No training wheels. And I've also tied a few on. Let's go to the bridge.
But yeah, Cool Dog saves her. Cool Dog's a favorite with the local community.
He has a parade in his honor.
He delivers mail for people to residences which are not his own. The mailman can just see him on the street, give him mail. Cool Dog knows where
Everybody basically just treats him like he's a person. They're like, oh, Cool Dog, are you hungry? Do you have any cash on you? Because I can give you some hot dogs.
If Cool Dog were
At a
featured on the
discount.
news, the caption below his name would be local favorite.
Yes. He is indeed
But
a local
they have to go to New
favorite.
York, right? But the problem is that they're leaving Cool Dog back here forever. They're never going to come get him again, right?
Well, what it is the dad... apparently his business is paying for this apartment, which doesn't make any sense. But the stepmom says, oh, the apartment your business is paying for says no pets allowed, even though your dog is pretty much the only thing your son has after his mom died, and has saved multiple lives and is a town hero. But fuck him.
Well, not exactly, because the plan is, according to the parents, that they are going to live in this no-pets apartment for about 2 months while they settle in.
Right.
And because the dad has to get started on the job quickly before they can find a more suitable place, assumedly. And then they're going to get Cool Dog.
It makes more sense
mean,
that the dad just works up there until they move.
Yeah,
into,
exactly. The conflict is 2 months without Cool Dog. Not like never see him again. 2 months.
No, like, you have to put Cool Dog down.
Right.
Which Cool Dog would survive, by the way.
So
Yes.
they leave Cool Dog behind.
It would make him stronger, really.
But their method of doing
him
this
angry.
isn't to go up to the person whose daughter's life he saved and said, hey, could you take care of our dog? He saved the life of your daughter. Or, I mean, I guess they tried it, and the guy was like, oh, I'm super busy. Oh, so much stuff at work.
I'd love to, but I've
Keep
got to
leaving.
put in a
Wait,
new
no,
fence.
I actually watched this morning again. And
How many times is that for you?
I think 4. But the girl falls off the bridge. She gets saved by Rainey, kind of. Like, she's like, reach for Rainey's collar, but his collar is easily as far away as the actual railing itself. But the father, and I guess her little sister immediately just appear out of nowhere. And it's like, wow, your dog saved our daughter's life. Is there anything we can do for him? And then Jimmy says, a big meaty bone is just enough. Like, you're an
But even
idiot.
still-
Cash in on that.
Yeah, I mean, surely if you came back 2 days later, the guy wouldn't be like, no, I fulfilled my end of the bargain.
I gave you
got
that bone. You gave me my
What more
daughter.
do you want from me?
I am
You're gonna-
washing my hands.
You're gonna
of this.
save my daughter's life, then hold that over my head?
God,
How
get over
dare
it. That
you.
was 3 days ago.
Yeah.
Instead, they're gonna give it to a guy with terrible
That wasn't the
teeth,
deal.
Right.
who has some weird petting zoo or
somebody
something.
they've clearly never met. I think they found him on Craigslist. They're paying him up front to take care of this dog, despite the fact that there are dozens of people in this town who
Right.
love this dog.
Who owe this dog their fucking life.
Yes.
And of course, because the guy works at a petting zoo, he has an irrational hatred of any living creature.
Right.
And the fact of the matter is, having this
Welcome,
dog
Dr. Fears.
would be so helpful because he goes grocery shopping for you. He can do like kind of difficult jobs for you. Like he does these things, and you don't have to worry about them.
Not like normal dog jobs either. Like human jobs that it might even take a college degree for.
Yeah, he's like
Right.
an above average as far as competence, like on the job competence goes. He's about a bachelor's degree.
I feel like
would
if
say.
I were waiting for a job interview and I saw Cool Dog also
I
waiting
would
for the
just tear
same
my
interview.
resume and just
Fuck it, not getting this.
But Rainey gets away
Yep.
because the guy with the bad teeth is like, oh, this dog's listening to an iPod. Because he fucking listens to an iPod.
But he only listens to one song, and that's the Cool Dog theme song, which goes something like, Cool Dog!
Cool dog!
Cool Dog!
And sometimes I throw in a, that's one cool
dog.
dog!
Yeah, that's pretty much
And that's, I mean, if this movie was made in 2010, but if it was made in 1993, it would still look dated. Other than the fact, like, he has an iPod that he has around his neck, but it should be a Walkman because he has really, really old-looking headphones that are kind of on his head, but nowhere near his ears. So I don't understand how he can listen to it.
Well, it's like when you leave the TV on when you leave your dog alone. It just gives a comforting feeling. Doesn't need to know the details.
I guess, but it showed earlier, just prior to him being holed up in the petting zoo, it showed him watching TV, and there was plenty of shots where fake dog paws from across the screen go and cover his eyes.
Fake dog paws that do various things.
And there's fake dog paws all over this movie.
Plenty of, do you like animal reaction shots? You are in luck.
There's double takes abound. He wears sunglasses. He winks.
Yeah, but it's like that thing where they like, clearly the dog didn't actually wink. They like use like Photoshop
Yeah,
to make it look like his
actually,
eye.
The dog actor is nowhere near as cool as the character he portrays.
During the goodbye scene, they actually CGI in tears on the dog, and then they play like a really melodramatic like R&B song that you would think would get played after somebody got shot in like a Spike Lee movie or something.
Yeah.
Cool Dog actually yells hate and throws a trash can through a pizzeria window.
Thug life.
Yeah.
So hot.
Later in the movie, Cool Dog switches from the Cool Dog theme to Fight the Power by Public Enemy.
And then there's a fake dog pod that does kind of the Black Power. Comes up out of nowhere.
So he escapes from the redneck, who, in the process of escaping from him, and this is a proud tradition, he has gored with a bull.
Yeah.
Bull gores this guy.
There's a sign that says, don't make, I don't know, Larry the Bull or something. Don't make him angry, so don't wear red
No,
around
it says
him.
Larry the Bull, always in a bad mood.
Yeah,
No red.
no red. And of course, what does Cool Dog do? He gets a red flag. Where did that come
I don't
from?
know.
The communist
one that
rally
Nowhere.
across the street.
the one that they keep next to the pen with the easily enraged bull in it, I guess.
And it's enraged in the sense that it walks and then is filmed in fast motion, and so they just kind of show a guy
CGI
backpedaling.
smoke coming out of
Yeah,
its nostrils.
yeah.
There's they add red to its eyes, like
Yeah.
to make it look like super angry and demonic.
But it's clearly just walking. Not even. It's moseying.
but
It's
at the-
moseying in fast motion.
The intention is that this bull gores this guy, and in
Yeah.
classic Cool Dog fashion, the next prank he plays after attempting to have him gored to death is he pushes a little hay on him. That is Cool Dog's trademark.
Take
he
that,
goes
guy.
from really extreme to really light
Yeah.
pranks super quick.
Maybe
He'll burn a cross on your lawn, but then he'll just deliver a pizza to your house later.
he was just leaving his calling card, which is just a subtle prank to your corpse.
Yeah, it's literally like the first thing he'll do is he'll stab you with like a shank in the prison shower, and then he'll put a little itching powder on your bed.
He'll
I'm
set you
itchy and bleeding out.
He'll
This
set
is
you on
the
fire
worst.
and then draw a dick on the face of your burnt corpse. That's the Cool Dog way.
That one's really insulting.
Yeah. It's like, oh man, you're burned to death and you suck dick?
You should be
Man.
Cool Dog.
You'd have to like write it in white Sharpie because of the charred.
Right. And I mean, have you ever had a Sharpie pushed against third-degree burns?
I'm sure it's quite painful.
It's pretty painful.
I mean,
Assuming they survive.
He's a cool
Yes.
dog, but by
Oh,
all
they haven't
means,
survived.
he's as cold as ice.
Cool Dog does what he needs to do to get shit done.
Yes,
Cube.
of course he does.
We'll get
So
more-
this
Cool Dog was a founding member of NWA.
There'll be more on that later.
Okay, so this leads us to Jimmy is throwing Twizzlers out his car door so Rainey can find him. But at the same time, he puts his address on a postcard into Cool Dog's collar because
Yeah.
Cool Dog, of course, can read.
He doesn't.
Right.
He doesn't follow the Twizzlers very much. He just goes to the. He
It
follows
was
the
just a
Twizzlers
thing.
for like 2 blocks.
It was
and
like
then
a
he's like,
thing
oh,
that
I'll
just
go to,
happened.
I'll just go to the train
He's like,
yard.
yeah, of course.
Or no, he gets in a guy's boat to cross like a river, and like clearly Jimmy didn't throw Twizzlers in the fucking ocean.
Unless he threw Twizzlers in the ocean and they stayed in the exact same spot.
Good point.
Well-anchored Twizzlers.
And that boat that Cool Dog was not driving but a stowaway on just happened to be going directly over the Twizzlers.
Yeah.
He very effectively stows away.
It was
on that boat.
it was a Twizzler fishing boat.
Yeah. He also frees those fish because Cool Dog's a friend to the animals. Cool Dog has some friends. His friends are the animals. In the opening scene, it's implied that black people like him more than white people.
Oh yeah, black people and homeless people.
Homeless
love
people
Cool
are
Dog.
Cool Dog's natural allies.
Statistically,
It's like the Baker Street Boys. It's essentially the Baker Street irregulars from Sherlock Holmes that Cool Dog employs to help him solve various issues and problems.
Okay. Meanwhile, in New York, Jimmy is having a hard time adjusting to his new apartment complex, which is inhabited by these two landlords, which are just they're cartoonish in how just ugly and horrible they are. They don't say dog, they say dog. You ain't got dogs. She freaks out when there's a kid there saying that she would, if it weren't illegal to disallow kids in her apartment, she would have.
But it's important to note she says that in front of his parents. She's really hostile to this kid. The parents are standing right there, and she's like, "I hate kids. If I could get rid of every kid on earth, throw them in an oven, and then rip off their heads and drink the blood out of their bleeding esophagi, I wouldn't a heartbeat." And the parents are like, "So this is a pretty nice place."
Cool.
Cable ready?
So do we play utilities on this one?
God help you if that kid is in a wheelchair too, because I feel like these people would not comply with the Americans with Disabilities Act.
One of them does say dog, like really thick New York accent. The other one is
the other one is like this weaselly kind of guy with a bow tie.
Kind of reminds me
a lot
of
of
Pee-wee
sweater
Herman,
vests,
but not as like animated.
Like he's
a
just
lot more uptight.
he's just a diminutive, like submissive husband, and the wife is just like this really just boorish,
this wife is this
controlling
Mongol woman who is like awful, and I feel like she's murdered.
So
people.
Cool Dog gets on a train with some hobos. They have the hobos are really nice. He beats them at cards. He plays the banjo with them. He plays the harmonica with them. Cool Dog knows at least 3 instruments.
He can play the harmonica, but it's real. It just shows the harmonica just deep in his jowls, and then a complicated harmonica part. I guess it's not. It's more complicated than
in terms of
somebody with no hands.
But in terms of musical ability, Cool Dog is
he plays the piano.
He plays the piano later. So I'm thinking, like, I know Bob Dylan plays the guitar and the harmonica. I think Cool Dog may play more instruments than Bob Dylan, one of the preeminent singer-songwriters of all time.
Yeah. And Cool Dog is an excellent songwriter. I think I'm pretty sure
he plays more than Tom Waits.
He wrote the theme of Cool Dog. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
Which very egotistical. By the way,
the train takes him to New York. There's a whole bunch of other crazy shit that we're just skipping over, like a weird fat security guard who's mocked for no reason, just doing his job.
There's no way within the confines of this podcast to delve into the crazy world that Cool Dog inhabits.
Now he's in New York.
Okay, he's in New York, and this is, I mean, it's supposed to be one of the...
This is 20 minutes in. This isn't like the Incredible
Journey. It's not a harrowing tale of he overcomes a lot of odds to get to New York. It's he rides a train and has fun with hobos, and then, bam, he's in New York. And first thing that he does, there's a subway station, and then there's a guy who steals a purse from an old lady.
No, a generic mugger. Like, an old-timey, like,
as generic, He has the ski cap on, of course, and a leather jacket.
Over the purse, see?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And of course, Cool Dog tracks him down because he always gets his man.
Right.
And the police, this part was just awesome to me because the cops go up to the mugger and they say, "Stealing purses from old ladies, huh?" As if to say, of course this is a cliche, but we're still putting it in this movie.
Oldest trick in the book.
And then they're running down hallway after hallway, which I think is the same hallway just over and over again.
They're in a subway station or something.
And then when they catch him, the old lady is instantly right behind him because she's
the cops,
a triathlete.
The cops defer to Cool Dog as the one who caught they're immediately like, "Wasn't us, man. It was his dog.
We had nothing to do with it. No heroes here, just a couple of saps in blue uniforms."
Your hard-earned tax dollars at work.
And then the old
Outdone
lady,
by a dog.
the old lady sees the address. She takes him back to the apartment building where Jimmy is located, which was the one that was in his
and
collar.
then there's this awesome part.
Oh, yeah.
God.
So a young boy on a skateboard comes by. It's I don't know, it's New York. It's busy. There's all sorts of people on the street.
He's shredding. He's a sidewalk surfer.
Yeah, he's maybe 10. He's about Jimmy's age. And the woman stops him. Now, he doesn't live at this apartment building, but she says, "Oh, do you know if this is the right apartment building or something?" She saw it on the card that Jimmy left, the address. And the kid's like, "Oh, that dog can't live here. I know the landlords of this apartment building.
For whatever reason.
I live in New York. Adults in New York don't know landlords of buildings near where they live.
And I know the people that have an irrational hatred of children really well.
Yeah.
I feel like if I were this character, I'd kind of be the same way, because I kind of be obsessed with the real estate around me, rather than having a social life and just skateboarding alone.
But the kid confirms that there's no way these landlords would let a dog live in this apartment building. Not even a dog as cool as this one.
And by the way, cool dog, Rainey, at this point, it's not like wearing sunglasses or a leather jacket or something.
He's sitting there.
Does he have a Walkman on?
No,
No Walkman, no iPod.
Nope, he's doing the most normal dog stuff in the world.
So he's like cool in that like James Dean sense, where he's
just
just really trying.
You see it and you're like, oh, that guy's got the
He's
goods.
just laying in the cut, but that kid's like, that is, that's easily the coolest dog I've ever seen for doing nothing.
The kid's line reading is awful.
Yeah, it is.
Not even a dog
It's
as
really
cool as
like
that one.
on the nose and winking and just like,
Imagine a movie called Cool Dog. Imagine the type of lines you'll hear. Then make it worse. That's what that line delivery is like.
so I guess we should move on.
Okay, after the purse snatching, let's see, Jimmy is accosted by the local bully and his gang, the Cools.
Oh, yeah.
And just so you know, Cools is not spelled the way you would think
Not the
it
conventional way that your grandpa spells it.
Is there an S at the end? No. There's a Z.
Well, but Pat,
Oh
is
wait,
there-
that's kind of little. That's a
Surely-
little weird.
But surely at least there's a C at the beginning.
Yeah, there has to be.
Wrong again.
What?
It is spelled with a K and a Z. Just so you know, this is not your typical game.
They did
of
not
Cools.
go
must
so
be-
far. They did not go so far as to replace the OO with an EW, though. They have some sense.
Or like a U with an umlaut over it.
They're
Cools.
ruffians, but they are not
that sounds
savages.
like that sounds like a neo-Nazi game.
The Cools.
We are dead coolers.
Or maybe like some weird black metal band that just all killed themselves and burned a bunch of churches.
Put out one album in 1982.
Okay, so Jimmy has to learn to stand up for himself. But he's getting picked
But
on.
he has help from a friend named Amy. Comes out of nowhere and is like, "Hey, I'm gonna tell on you." She's a narc,
Right.
but in a way, Cool Dog is kind of a narc also. But they're like, they're on the good. They're obviously lawful good, both of them. And he's like,
I feel like Cool Dog might be chaotic good. Or
yeah,
at least neutral good.
He could be neutral or chaotic good, but anyhow, he's like,
Hold on.
oh, I don't need a girl to stand up for me, but in a way, he kind of does need a
I
girl
do
to
want
stand up
to
for
point
him.
out one thing from this Wikipedia page that is really crazy. Here's the description of Rainey the dog. Rainey is a peculiar and smart dog who saves lives and does computer animated activities such as driving cars and playing checkers. Not computer animated.
The playing
terrible
checkers
effects.
was just another fake dog.
Yeah, it was a fake dog paw with a checker.
That was
glued to
old
it.
style special
And he has like a
effects.
quadruple skip in there.
Yeah.
Amazing the hobos that he's
But
around.
this is School Dog meets street bums, hobos, and helpful women along his journey from Louisiana to New York.
I think helpful is the opposite of...
Yeah.
Rainey is also always willing to help people who are either bullied, misspelled, or robbed.
And
Robbing is just another form of
I
bullying.
mean, the
really.
whole Wikipedia page is littered with misspelling.
And here's
It's
someone.
like-
The Wikipedia page is worth checking out on its own merits.
yeah, the description of Muriel, who's the fat superintendent, she's described as having a strict no pets policy. I can't even imagine that that's a typo.
So,
I think
but
that's just
I
a
wanna get
misunderstanding of the
into,
English language. Anyhow,
I want to get into the next scene, which
Okay,
is
this is a really meaty
Cool
film.
Dog,
We got to do it play by play.
Cool Dog, basically, has no place to sleep for the night. and he's wandering around the streets of NY, as you
What's
do.
he gonna do? What's he gonna do?
Suddenly he sees a sight that is quite offensive to his cool dog eyes.
It's his cool dog sensibilities. He can't let bullying
Were he
go
able
by.
to speak, he would probably say something along the lines of, "Well, I never."
Or I don't jive with that.
Or I'm gonna fuck you up, son.
Yes,
fuck
he, yes, he
no.
would have used the phrase "jive turkeys." But he sees
Please
an
give
old
Cool Dog a 45 Magnum.
An old hobo
Somebody
is walking through, I don't know, a park or something.
He's got a
and
grocery cart full of all kinds of
garbage.
yeah.
It's
It's
full of
basically
garbage.
but it's he's obviously attached some sentimental value to it
Right.
because
So-
that's his stuff.
Because
man. Come
hobos
on.
don't
But a
carry
group-
around anything they can recycle or anything.
So
They just carry
far-
around shit.
So far sounds alright, guys. Uh-oh. Here comes a group of street toughs looking to start some business with this hobo.
They're the local rivals of the Cools, named
Right.
the
Much
Hots.
older than the Cools.
The Hots with a Z and
They're about
AW.
high school aged.
Yeah, and one of them is, he just grabs. I think it's like a bucket, like
An
I think
empty
like a
chicken bucket from
yeah,
like KFC.
it's something like that. And he's just like, "What's this? Is it your hat?" He puts it on his head,
So
and he's like, "No, it's garbage."
He's
Clearly
taunting
this
this
is
old man by putting his garbage on his head.
If you have a normal hat and it's covered in chicken grease, that's garbage anyway.
So anyways, Cool Dog comes up and viciously
He's
attacks.
not having it. He's
Yeah,
ripping out
he attacks
throats
these
and
punks.
yeah.
Cool Dog's like, get
These
3
nair-
coffins ready, and
These-
just starts
yep.
attacking the
These ruffians, and sends them scattering into the breeze.
He just has a shovel in his dog mouth and kind of throws it in their direction, and
As
then
opposed
then
to-
has like a weird double take kind of shot of him just motioning towards a nearby graveyard.
And they cut the scene where he makes them dig their own graves at gunpoint.
Where he like is really just haphazardly has like a handgun in his mouth that there's no way he can
And the
fire.
punks are just crying, and the hobo's standing behind Cool Dog laughing.
The hobo's like, I think this is too much, and Cool Dog's like, shut up!
and he's rubbing his tummy with fake dog paws. And anyways, Cool Dog takes care of these street
So
toughs.
he's staying the night with this hobo.
fierce.
This hobo says, "You're pretty cool in my book." He doesn't say that, but
he's
it's
like,
implied.
Paraphrase.
And he's like, I ain't got no money. They find a radio, and they put out a hat, and the radio is just playing Cool Dog.
Because Cool Dog's theme song has broken the Billboard 100.
Hey, you need to have that
Cool
at
Dog-
least 3 times in the movie,
Cool
and
Dog
people
is
are
helping-
handing them money for playing
yeah.
a radio.
Cool Dog is helping this
Because
this
they're like,
hobo
holy
make
shit.
bank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've probably made $30,000 at this point because they're like, wow, that's the coolest
But
fucking
Pat,
dog I've ever seen.
I'm
Let me
confused.
empty my bank account.
That's all well and good. They're
Yeah.
making a little money, but I mean, what are they going to eat?
What
Brian,
are they
do
going
you
to
know?
eat?
I'm gonna go out on a limb here. Cool hot dogs.
Cool hot dogs. Wait. But surely the hobo is the one who orders the hot dogs.
See, you'd think that because the hobo is a person who can speak.
Right.
But it's not. Cool Dog orders
In
the
a way,
hot dogs.
Rainey can
Wait,
speak
wait, wait,
because
wait,
he,
wait, guys.
he barks non-words at
Wait,
people.
guys. I can
Kinda like
see,
Bruce
fine.
Valanche.
Rainey orders the hot dogs, that's fine. It's got to be a real simple order, right? 2 plain hot dogs, blah, blah, blah.
No,
it is-
such luck.
What?
It's
There
like,
are substitutions
it's like-
on this order.
it's
Does he ask to hold
It's
things?
insane. It's insanely specific to
It's-
expect a hobo to remember.
the dog
let
comes
alone
up,
a dog.
and then the dog comes up to the cart, and then for some reason the hot dogs vendor is like, "Hey, can I get you anything?" And and then the dog just barks twice. Okay, 2 hot dogs. He has to
He's
go
like,
through
yeah, you want mustard on that?
He has to
Cool
go
Dog
through
barks.
every
He's like,
condiment.
no mustard.
mustard, and it's clear that somebody off screen is like holding food just up and down.
No,
so
no,
he can
actually,
do a weird
what
kind
they
of
do is
semblance of a
they
nod.
have a shot of the dog moving its head one way, and then they clearly just reverse the footage to make it
Yeah.
look like he's shaking
For
his
that,
head.
that's when he's shaking his head. When he's nodding, yes, they're just taking food up and down, so it almost looks like nodding, but it definitely doesn't. And he has to go through every. Do you want mustard?
Yeah, it's a pretty
Do you want
complicated
ketchup?
Because that was a no, by the way. A no to the ketchup because Cool Dog's a traditionalist with his hot dog.
Sure.
Yeah. I
But
guess
anyways, they spend the
Chicago
night.
style or something.
They spend the night on a bench
in New York, of
as
all
hobos
places.
do.
Yeah.
Right.
And
Rainey, he hangs out because he's bonded with this.
But
with this
the next
fellow.
day, Rainey's like, I gotta meet up with Jimmy. Well, I'm across town.
I gotta get upstate. Oh, I could get on the F train. Well, I gotta transfer it this way. I'm just gonna steal a valet car instead.
Rainey commits some grand theft auto, tacking it on top of his attempted murder of the guy who takes care of the petting zoo earlier.
Oh, yeah.
Is it grand theft auto though? Because
Yes,
it
definitely is grand theft auto.
Wait,
It is.
after all,
There's no arguing this.
no, he is a dog. A. B.
Okay,
He's wearing sunglasses.
No, he puts on the sunglasses in the car. But so a guy, this is what
I think that actually makes it
let me-
aggravated.
dear
Grand
listener,
Theft Auto.
Dear listener, let me set the scene. There's a man who pulls up to a valet station. He gets out of his car, handing the keys off to the valet. As the valet is making his way towards the car, Cool Dog sees opportunity a knockin' and jumps in the car, turns it on. I don't know. I mean, I guess it's still on. I guess he didn't give his keys to the valet. He left them in the car. And
He would have to
I'm just
have.
making sure the
There's no
logic
way.
is consistent
Still.
Yeah.
in the scene of a dog stealing the car.
Right.
But so Cool Dog takes the car,
The
runs off. The
verisimilitude.
valet is clearly panicked, and I feel so sorry for that valet.
He's
because
definitely fired.
what is he gonna do? He's gonna be like, so I was.
You're not gonna believe this.
Okay,
sounds crazy.
This car came up, right? And then his dog, he was really cool, but he comes out of nowhere, and then he just steals the car. But
This
he's
dog
still
seemed cool, but he was kind of a dick in retrospect.
Listen,
he's still the
kids.
coolest dog on earth,
Wanton-
easily. But he did steal a car. and get me
Wanton
fired.
disregard for the law is not cool.
Isn't it? Isn't it?
Only in certain situations.
I'd like to point out we've been discussing Cool Dog for about 30 minutes now,
Yeah, we need
and
to-
we've barely gotten.
No,
We've
we're
scratched
probably,
the
we're
surface.
pretty far in.
All that really happens after that, he shows up at Jimmy's school just in time for show and tell.
He saves him
Jimmy,
from the bullies, the cools.
Yeah, he saves him from the cools.
Showing them what real cool really is.
Just stomps their nuts into oblivion in front of all their friends. And then for show and tell, Jimmy tells this story about how he saved somebody else's life, some pilot who kind of crash landed.
Yeah, but he didn't really look like he needed saving because the pilot was immediately conscious and fine.
Yeah, what
Yeah.
it was is that it was an emergency landing. It didn't crash or anything. He landed fine, but he just immediately passed out.
Basically, what happened was Cool Dog happened to be there where this plane landed.
And he opened the plane door. Maybe there was a carbon monoxide situation. I don't know
Maybe,
how
I don't
plant.
Let's
it's-
give Cool Dog the benefit of the doubt.
Absolutely.
By the way, he defeated the cools with a tennis ball shooting machine.
Yeah.
That's
American
right.
Gladiator style. And then after that, he happens upon the landlords,
Right.
who
Run a vaguely defined animal selling and smuggling.
it's like
Yeah.
an animal selling ring, which they're animals that are like kind of exotic. Like they have a
Yeah.
parrot,
Exotic in a fun way.
kangaroo, yeah. But
Yeah.
A baboon,
I've
there's like
definitely
monkeys
seen
and baboons.
parrots at a pet store before.
Yeah.
Really, all they're facing is they're like dealing exotic pets without a license.
Yeah,
or
it doesn't
something.
seem like these people are buying. I mean, I don't know what people would buy these for. That's like super illegal. I mean,
Yeah.
the
That's just
worst
gonna be a
is-
hefty fine
yeah,
at
like,
worst.
Just like rich
I
people
feel
who are
like
bored.
they're just buying pets that you're
and
not
just
supposed
kind of-
to be able to.
yeah,
own.
just-
like
yeah.
that's basically all it is.
They just don't have a license to do that, so
Yeah.
they're facing like
Pretty minimal jail
a
time,
fine.
Yeah, a fine.
A
Probably.
hefty fine is what they're looking at.
Yeah,
And-
maybe for smuggling they'll get some charges.
And
Not
then
that big.
Rainey takes it upon himself to free some of the animals.
Oh yeah, 2. He frees a kangaroo, which I don't think even escapes because it's too stupid.
And why would it? Where would it go? It's
And
not
a
getting.
parrot.
Australia.
So after he frees,
Oh yeah, he's just gonna get on a boat.
After
and
he
it's
Cool Dog got
rain.
to fucking New York.
Is it a cool
frees-
kangaroo? Is it a cool
Probably.
kangaroo?
he frees a sassy parrot and a kangaroo that does a dance, and Cool Dog plays the piano while they jump around. All the other animals, fuck them, they can stay.
It's still in the
Right.
cages. You gotta give Cool Dog his cut if you're gonna get out.
So, anyways, Jimmy finds out about the animal smuggling ring. It's time to bring these motherfuckers down, right?
Yeah.
But they find and capture Jimmy.
And their plan is to kidnap him and send him to Mexico.
yep.
Which is, I'm sure,
They are going- yes.
felony kidnapping.
Human trafficking,
A little
also
bit
pretty
worse
serious.
than
Yeah.
an exotic pet selling
I kind of have a
ring.
feeling that this pet selling ring might be involved with the Zeta cartel.
And it's important to note that when they get to Mexico, they don't say what they're going to do with him. Because last
Yeah.
time I checked, there are phones in Mexico.
Mexico is not that far
It's
back.
like, oh yeah, Jimmy, do you know your number? Of course, I'm 10. Yeah, those assholes who are our landlords sent me to Mexico. Come pick me up and then kick the shit out of them, please.
Or you can just go to the Mexican police, I'm sure. Are they going to give him a foster family that will not allow him to, like, go outside?
Yeah.
Are they just going to murder? Why don't they just murder him
Are they
in New
going
York?
to behead him in the streets of Juarez?
Yeah, I mean, just if you're going to kill him, do it in New York. Get it over with.
Maybe
this
it's
is
like
a convoluted plan that is putting you in more danger than it's worth, by the way.
Yeah. Also, is one of the landlords in kabuki makeup at this point, or is that later?
Well, no, at this point,
yeah,
one of the landlords has been, in the chase to catch Jimmy, has been tranquilized with a tranquilizer gun. That landlord
and so
is
he's
then...
really sleepy.
Right. That landlord
And
is then the
it's-
landlord that is... It's the meek guy who's not like the dogs lady, but the other guy.
Dogs.
Yeah, that guy with the bow tie. And she makes him drive the car despite having just been shot with a tranquilizer dart.
Which is worse than, like, 3 shots of Jack. That's a bigger impediment to your driving ability.
Maybe it wasn't kabuki makeup. Maybe she just did like a pound
I
of
think
coke.
flour
She definitely looks like a geisha.
fell on them
Yeah.
or something at some point.
It was-
There's another chase scene.
It was some kind of
when they-
Home Alone slapsticky prank.
Yeah, there's another chase scene with... There's now 4 villains. The 2 landlords, the guy who wanted to buy the parrot, and...
Oh, we forgot about Dog Exterminator.
Oh, yeah, we have
the
to touch-
landlords.
Jesus Christ.
The landlords hire a dog exterminator who pulls out some kind of like electric shocking stick, and he's like, and they're like, "What are you gonna do to the dog when you catch him?" And he's like, "It won't be PG-13." And then he goes up a fire escape chasing Cool Dog. He opens the door,
The
and
first-
Cool Dog is like, "Hey,
go
bark,
full
bark,
on.
Wait,
bark,
wait,
bark,
before
bark."
this happens. The first thing he does is stuff like, he throws some paint on him. Oh, I know, I'm covered in paint.
Oh, now I got orange paint on me. I'm gonna get you, dog. And then he goes up to the door.
It's about
Cool
the fourth
Dog
story
knocks
on a fire escape.
Yeah, Cool Dog knocks the he like barks at him. The guy
cattle-
shocks himself with his cattle
prod.
prod shock stick, and falls off a 4th story fire escape into a fucking garbage dump.
Oh no, I've got orange paint all over
no.
me, and I'm bleeding internally.
Well, at least he survived, right? Oh no.
no. Fuck no.
Along comes the garbage truck, which picks up the dumpster he's in and tosses it in the back. And those of you who are familiar with garbage trucks knows they immediately compact the trash once they throw it in there. Much to the delight of the people in the neighborhood around them, who are laughing heartily.
Cool Dog.
Gentlemen just perished.
Cool Dog is giving a hearty paw pump at
And
this
it's
point.
particularly at this point that makes me want to see this, and that is a Cool Dog trilogy I have envisioned.
Oh yeah.
Where Cool Dog 2 is sort of a all the President's Men state of play thing. Cool Dog's a hero, everybody loves him, except for one intrepid journalist, Johnny Scoops, who's after the real story.
Damn
the
you,
real
Scoops!
story to find Cool Dog's attempted murder, GTA committing past.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Cool Dog, with the help of Jimmy, is trying to track him down and silence him before the story can ever get out. Eventually, at the end of the film, Scoops manages to get the story on the front page, and it seems like Cool Dog's ruined. Uh-oh, what's gonna happen next? Movie 3, Cool Dog on trial. All A Few Good Men style. Cool Dog has a breakdown at the end. You need dogs like me!
Yes.
People can't exist in this.
He gives a very spirited monologue that's all in subtitles because or maybe he has a whiteboard that he like kind of writes.
Or they bring in
symbols
that
down
hot dog
vaguely.
vendor to translate.
The bulls get Jimmy to flip on Cool Dog, so Cool Dog takes Jimmy fishing on the lake.
Yeah, I know it was you, Jimmy.
I really want to see this movie.
So that's my idea for the Cool Dog trilogy, and I can only hope it happens.
Yeah.
Moving on, we're back to the chase scene with the 4 villains, the 2 landlords, the guy who wanted to buy the parrot, and
They
the
get
captain,
caught in a warehouse. The boat captain, the guy
who's going to traffic Jimmy.
Yeah, the guy who's gonna traffic Jimmy, he's almost sealing him up in a crate, but then Cool Dog comes out of fucking nowhere, and
he's cool.
Jimmy's like, "Hey, mister, do you like dogs?" Because Jimmy's playing it cool. He's learned a thing or two from Rainey. And then Rainey just bolts in, pounces on the guy, knocks him down, but wait, Rainey's unconscious too. What's going on?
No.
Rainey's not moving.
Meanwhile-
Is this Cool Dog's Waterloo?
Meanwhile, all the cops are bursting in.
all the other
and
villains get captured.
All the
Right.
other villains are they're
They're sent to jail. So
damn you, Cool Dog! I would have gotten away with it.
So they check on Cool
Turn
Dog.
Murphy's meddling
Uh-oh. Uh-oh, says the paramedic. Cool Dog's dead.
And
They
they have
forget about Cool Dog for like 10 minutes.
Oh yeah, there's like
And they're like,
there's
"Oh,
like a
shit,
long
where did Cool
conversation
Dog
with the
go?"
villains before they're taken away.
They put
And
Cool Dog on a gurney, which
the
is
captain,
weird.
by the way, the captain goes missing. Cool Dog's down at the bottom of this pit where he pushed the captain into. Looks like he's dead. Paramedics say he's dead. They've had like a 5-minute conversation. Assumedly, Cool Dog's been dead most or all of that time.
Oh, by the way, kid, your dog's dead.
So they
like
strap
your mom.
him, like Pat said, they strap him to a
Everyone
gurney.
you
A
love
process
is dead.
that would take several full minutes. There's a crane pulling him out of the pit.
Yeah.
All of this would take so much time.
Yep.
They continue to have a conversation and start interjecting really heavy religious themes, like only God can know what.
This is God's plan, all right?
This is God.
This is God took him, and now he's in
They
God's
talk about
Cool
God.
Dog is clearly a Christ figure.
Yeah.
So
A
after Cool
murdering,
Dog,
bum-loving Christ figure.
after
Then Cool Dog kind of shakes it off and winks at the camera.
having been dead 15 minutes, which would make him. I mean, literally, I think it's impossible to come back at that point. Even if you did, you'd have
Yeah.
extreme brain damage.
Yeah, you'd be
Right.
brain dead completely, I think, after just a couple minutes. So.
Yeah.
Terry Schiavo's not a cool dog.
No.
So,
she is-
and then Cool Dog shakes it off. He finds the captain who's just decided to hang out behind some crates instead of running.
It's like, I'll chill here.
like, yeah. And then
Looks like everything's worked out.
everything's wrapped up. Rainey gets the key to New York City. He's
Oh, right,
officially
yeah.
a New York citizen, which now he can vote.
I guess.
Awesome. He can presumably buy alcohol in dog years. He's probably over 21.
He can claim about the
and,
Mets
All
pitching.
that stuff. Yeah, exactly. He is now a person.
Oh, he's a local celebrity for bringing down this really innocuous animal selling ring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
It was
they-
it plagued New York City for
Without
you know.
Cool Dog, I would have been able to get parrots for slightly cheaper.
and it seems like Cool Dog's gonna live a great life until Johnny Scoops uncovers Cool Dog's Watergate.
Damn
At the
you,
very
Johnny
end,
Scoops.
After the credits, there's a sequence with a mysterious envelope arriving on the desk of Johnny Scoops.
Yes.
He's a young buck at this point, but he's hungry.
Yes, who is the deep throat? It's Jimmy. Jimmy gets murdered on the lake. I know it was you, Jimmy.
You broke my heart, Jimmy.
Also, this is one of those movies, which again is why I say in '93 it would have been dated. They have during the credits they have a rap about everything that you just saw.
Oh,
the
yeah.
story of the movie in rap form.
So you can really just go to the credits and be
Yeah.
like, I'm going to listen to this hot beat.
But you
And
shouldn't.
I'm gonna
You'd
get
be
the
cheating
plot.
yourself.
Right.
You would.
Guys, I think that probably brings us to final thoughts on Cool Dog. If we want to go ahead and start, Brian, we'll start with you.
It's really hard for me to absorb all of Cool Dog because he is just that cool. I can never hope to be so cool. This dog can do things no dog or human can really dream of, and he can get away with murder, which is kind of like the O.J. Simpson of the dog world, except not reviled.
Okay, my final thoughts. It's one of the best bad movies I think I've seen.
Yes.
Thank you, Netflix On Demand, for this gem, because for some reason, Netflix is just littered with straight-to-DVD movies, and every now and again, you get one that's as good as this one. I had to write down all of the colorful characters that Rainey ran into, because the story is, like, it's kind of that forgettable. It's just him doing cool shit. So I had to write down all the, like, the bike girl and the inept cowboy and train hobos. Like, that's about how I understood the movie.
Yeah.
But it's hilariously bad. If anybody loves dog movie cliches, which there's a lot of those, this movie has them tenfold.
Sure.
Watch this right away.
And I guess I would just add that, yeah, Cool Dog is a really good bad movie. Pat and I found it on Netflix one night when we were both, in different states. And it's good. It's a good movie to watch with your friends. Have some drinks or something while you're doing it.
And if you have a dog, you can make your dog
Good as like The Room or Troll 2,
No.
but
It's like-
it's pretty good.
it's
really-
up there.
for a
It's
random find for something on Netflix Instant at any given time. It's a pretty funny movie to watch.
like Rainey itself. Cool Dog, a local favorite.
Yes, local favorite, Cool Dog.
Okay.
Briefly, probably just for 3 or 4 minutes, I want to briefly, just to be timely and stuff.
Okay.
Before trivia, I want to talk about this thing that a lot of people claim, and it might apply to our generation a little bit, and certainly to people even younger than us, about, the Harry Potter movies just concluded. The final one.
yeah.
came out.
Yeah.
And this is a topic we could talk more fully about in another episode, the whole of the Harry Potter movies.
Yeah,
But I just want to talk
coming
about
attraction.
as this idea that goes around a lot that it is the Star Wars for the new generation.
I believe it.
Wrong.
Wow, conflict.
I would say,
Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and say I think I believe it too. I started reading these books.
2 against 1.
I was 10 years old when the first book came out. And the last book came out I was 9 or so, but I read it when I was 10. And the last book came out when I was 19, so I was approximately the same age as the characters. And the books got progressively darker. They aged with me, which was really cool. Something Star Wars never did. Star Wars got more juvenile, I think, at the end. Near the end.
It was a money grab by Return of the Jedi, but...
And I also feel like, I was thinking about this the other night, Harry Potter kind of has a lot of the similar elements. It has even the bad stuff. It has a Jar Jar Binks in Dobby.
Sort of, yeah. I mean,
Dobby's a lot more likable.
Dobby's role in the 7th book is... it's way cooler than anything Jar Jar Binks ever does.
I must confess, I literally just finished the original Star Wars trilogy. So I've kind of growing up had a deeper connection with the Harry Potter series.
Sure,
so
that
I
makes sense.
definitely can see it as the
The other weird thing that I noticed is I feel like 7 is kind of the new 3. Because there's 7 Harry Potter books. That Stephen King series, The Dark Tower, 7 of them. Game of Thrones, 7. I feel like 3's passé. Lord of the Rings was 3, and Star Wars was 3.
I think from a movie standpoint, there's a lot more.
I think it's narratively better to have 7 because it's 1, 2, 3 acts, and like the second movie tends to be best in trilogies because it's the doubts. It's like it's the trial. The what's that phrase called? The trials. The trail of trials or something. I don't know. There's like a
trial of trails.
Whatever. Yeah.
Trail mix.
It's the point at which all the problems crop up. It's the darkest section of the movie.
Yeah. Well,
and with 7 books, you have a long period like that.
The first one usually stands alone, and the second one is because they know they're making a trilogy,
escalation.
They lead it into the third one, so it's more of a hook. But I think they're making a lot more trilogies. Because they know they can get money from the people who saw the first one, etc. And I think that's a little bit more common. As far as 7 goes, I feel like it was... I mean, from my standpoint, and this is why I'm kind of the flip side of you...
Did you read the books, or did you just see the movies?
I read up to the 4th one. Okay. And so that's why I don't feel like it's this generation's, because...
Well, that's when they get dark. Yeah. They get dark in 5, 6, and 7. They get a lot darker.
Even still...
And maybe the end of 4.
I kind of really lost interest. It started to... I think a lot of the stories kind of just got repetitive. It was like... It was just an overarching mystery that is kind of on the back burner while they're going about their school academic goings on, and then it starts to build up a little bit more intensely, and then it just becomes, by the end of the book, it's all consuming, where all their academia is just put to the side, and then they do a mad scramble at the very end to like finish finals, kill the basilisk.
Some of the book is very different. They don't even go to school.
That's all fine and good. But I stopped reading after the 4th one. I only saw the 2 books, or I only saw the 2 movies. And as far as Star Wars, I saw that growing up, and that's something that I can quote verbatim. But I guess, it's probably true for people like a little younger who they were reading Harry Potter when they started like second
in terms
grade,
of the age. I mean, this was coming out at the times we were about the age of the characters.
Yeah, we were like 4th or 5th grade.
But the thing is, like,
we were approximately, when these books were coming out, I was between 11 and 17 all the years, which of the characters in the books are between 11 and 17. I mean, this is stuff that we're like, I remember waiting for. I'm going to remember when I'm an adult, like, I remember when, like, I was waiting for the 7th Harry Potter book at, like, midnight.
But because there's 7, I stopped giving a shit after 4 because it got repetitive, and it kind of like... I'm not really sure about that, because I think that's the problem with 7 installments, is that there's just too much content.
Fact,
I can't go in and watch the seventh
Harry Potter
movie
is the
right
highest
now.
grossing film franchise of all time. That includes Star Wars.
At the same time, I will also say...
Well, yeah, but you haven't. It feels like the highest grossing film happens like almost every year because of inflation. But
I will also say that
I feel like it was Titanic.
I feel like the percentage of the population that is insanely devoted to Harry Potter is kind of similar to the percentage that was insanely devoted to Star Wars.
Right, and I have to say, like, the thing in its defense is it's a really big, comprehensive universe, just like Star Wars. There's a ton of characters that people who are casual fans don't know. People who are hardcore fans are like, yeah, I know this specific, Death Eater character, or like this professor who's occasionally mentioned.
I have a hard-on for Cedric Diggory.
And maybe a false equivalency to say it's exactly like Star Wars, in that it's a childhood thing and all that.
Yeah.
But I think it's I think you can't argue it's going to have a place in popular culture
I think-
for decades to
Yeah.
come.
I think it could very well. I think our generation Star Wars is probably a fine title for it because, I mean, there's really nothing else as far as like
Or
a
if you want to say the younger generation.
as far as a fantasy saga
millennials.
goes, there's nothing really in its place. I mean, is it the same caliber? I don't think so. But I think time will tell.
And I would say it is.
I think time will tell if it is actually as accessible because everybody knows what the Force is,
It's
lightsabers,
also-
Obi-Wan Kenobi, but I don't know what the fuck a Horcrux is. I've heard of them, but I have no idea
Yeah,
what the
but you
hell
know
it
who
is.
Dumbledore is.
I know the very.
You know who Voldemort
I know the
is.
very broad things, but
Right.
I think people know more specifics about the Star Wars. They
that just might
they
be the
know
community that
Ewoks.
you're in.
They know Death Star. They know, and those are. I think
Well, let me
I
ask-
would argue those are more specific than.
We'll
than
revisit this
Flynn,
in
do
an
you
episode
know-
of the podcast in
Do you know
20
what
years.
Dementors
Yeah.
are?
I do know what Dementor
Do you know what Avada Kedavra is?
Yes, the death spell.
Well, you already said that
Yeah,
you were
that's
both
true.
more invested in it. I don't
I
know
think
what
a lot of
fucking
people
about-
know that
I don't know
stuff.
what. I just know from his explanation. I had to.
We're going to do a jaywalking
well,
survey between this episode and the next one.
Yeah, we should
We'll
talk about this
fucking
later.
see.
We're going to
talk
get
about
to the
this
bottom
later.
of this
We'll
for
talk about
you,
this
the
later.
listener.
I also feel like they're not tainted by something like the prequels, which is a help.
True.
Okay, so I'm going to go into trivia.
I think we should separate those two.
We need to
'cause
push,
that was just a.
We need to push on. I
Yes,
have
yeah.
a slightly longer trivia game than usual. It's actually 24 questions. Some are worth only 1 point, but some you can get a second hint and get 2
Okay.
points. It depends on which one you ask. It's all luck. There's a possible 42 points, which is the answer to what helps you hint at the answer to one of the questions. And the topic is fictional planets from popular culture.
Oh, shit.
Oh my god.
Most are from TV, a couple from movies, a couple from video games.
Might I say?
One or two are from comics or books.
Good category.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
week.
Fictional planets from popular culture. I'll
like
tell
it.
you if you can have a second hint. The first hint's going to be harder on the 2 pointers, and the second hint will be an easier, more well-known from that planet from that universe.
Okay, so
So
And just
we
to
have
recap
24 possible questions.
Just to recap our trivia standings for the season, I am in the lead.
You have 2. Pat has 1. I believe I have 0.
Yes.
I mean, not to bring up like close calls and not to be like that one guy who
Oh, stop complaining.
Not
I
to
have
be that
0.
one coach who
I'm in
complains about the
third.
calls, but you did cut me short when I was.
Baby, all that
Talking
matters
at
is the
the Harless
W.
guy.
Blah, 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 blah. I have 0. I think Brian won by more than 1 on that one anyway.
No,
Brian, you're the Bill Belichick of trivia.
I
so
was
far.
taping your trivia.
we need to get started on this. So,
Yes.
let's
get into
guys,
it.
you guys decide who wants to go first.
I'll go first since you
Okay.
wrote the P before the B.
Select one between 1 and 24.
1,
Okay.
number 1.
There are 2 hints from this.
Okay.
So I'll give you the harder one. If you can't figure it out, ask for the lower one, and it'll become worth 1 point.
Okay, got it.
Okay. The harder hint is Scarro. Scarro.
Garo.
I'm
I'm
not
gonna have
sure
to. I'm gonna have to take the second hint on that.
Okay. I definitely think Brian will know the second hint. I don't know if you will. Gallifrey. Yeah.
Gallifrey.
Brian is nodding that he knows the answer. See, the trivia games that I would win maybe are the ones that I would
If
create.
Brian knows it and I don't.
It is not The Wire.
Although there is that crazy season.
Yeah, crazy
Gallifrey.
season where they travel through time.
Yeah, some people think it really went off the rails, but I kind of liked it.
Yeah.
Omar gets a photon gun.
I'm gonna say Stargate. I'm giving up.
Incorrect. The answer is Doctor Who.
Oh
The
shit.
Doctor is the man from Gallifrey.
I really need to watch more of that.
All right, Brian, that makes it your turn.
I'll
Shit.
take 24.
24 is worth a possible 2. This is the tough one.
Okay.
The harder one is Eros. I wouldn't know this one, I don't think.
Eros.
I mean, if you might know it
I'll take the easier hint.
if you're familiar with this property. The easier hint is Path.
I have no idea.
Ender's Game.
Oh, I've never read that.
I've never read those.
I read it
Well,
a
I am excited
really
for the
long
movie.
time.
I just
ago.
wanted to have 42 points because it is a hint to one of the answers.
Man, we're not, this is gonna be a hard one. I feel like.
Some of them are hard, some of them are easier. Okay, Pat.
2.
Okay, you might be able to get this one to 2 points. It's worth 2 points, and you might be able to get it on the first one. This is one of 2 where I feel like the clues are both. I mean, the earlier clue might be easier than the second one, even though it shows up less in the property.
Okay.
The first clue is the Globetrotters' homeworld.
Futurama, right?
Correct, for 2 points. The second one was Omicron Persei 8,
Oh, yeah.
which shows up a lot in that show.
I'll go with 23.
23! You guys working opposite ends of the spectrums.
Yeah. We're going to meet in the middle like Lady and the Tramp.
All right, worth 2
I'm
points.
the lady.
You have 2 points here.
No, I don't know which is
Moon
worse.
of Vega is the first point. The Moon of Vega.
Hint.
Druidia.
Oh.
Again, I have no idea.
Can I steal?
No, but you
No.
can answer.
Spaceballs.
Spaceballs is
I
correct.
knew the Moon of Vega sounded really familiar.
Fuck,
and
that's
then-
right.
Spaceballs is correct.
Ah, man, there's a lot of planets out there.
Okay.
Millions.
Are you going to continue with your trend?
Yes, 3.
3 is worth only 1 point.
Ah! Damn you, 3.
It's a potentially tough one. If you know what it is,
Then I'm a cool guy.
Marklar.
You're a
Marklar.
South Park.
South Park is correct for
Yeah.
1 point. Marklar is, yes.
That was a good one. There's a lot of things that I forgot have planets in them.
Yep.
That was not a good sentence.
All right.
I'll go with 22.
22 worth 1 point.
Okay.
Rigel 4.
Simpsons.
Simpsons is correct for
Nice.
1 point.
Home of Kang and Kodos.
Yes.
It is indeed. Pat,
4.
I think you'll get this one for 2 points. It's worth a possible 2 if you need help.
Tatooine.
We'll definitely get it. No. The first one is Kashyyyk.
Star Wars.
Star Wars. The hint was Dagobah.
Oh, nice. Kashyyyk is where Chewbacca is from. I
Chewbacca is
believe,
from
yes.
Kashyyyk, yes.
See, Chewbacca is from Kashyyyk.
Okay.
21.
21. I don't know if I'd know this, but a lot of people would. For 2 points. First clue, cricket. Cricket.
Hint?
Magrathia?
Wow.
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy?
Correct.
Oh, right,
Correct
right,
for
right.
1 point. Yes.
I forgot about the cricket world where they have the...
I'm glad you got the
Pat?
Hitchhiker's one because I'm
Pat, are
not as
you
familiar with it as I
gonna
should be.
continue to 5?
Yes, 5.
All right, you're going to get this one. It's easy. Pandora.
Avatar.
Avatar.
I didn't see it, but I remembered that.
Avatar's
happening.
correct.
Is that 1 point?
1 point.
God, dick.
Oh, you're still up by 4. I'll
Yeah,
take
I know,
20.
but I want to. It's all about the W, right?
This may be the hardest one. On the
God
entire
damn
list.
it.
Yes.
2 points. 2 points. First planet is called either M6-117 or Hades.
Hint.
Crematoria?
Jeez.
Jesus Christ.
I'm intrigued.
This is maybe the toughest one. I don't think I'd get this one. You probably there's a good chance you're familiar with it.
Babylon 5?
No. The correct answer is Pitch Black / Chronicles of Riddick series.
Ah,
fuck. Okay.
I have not had any interest in seeing those.
Okay, Pat, going to number 6. Okay, the first hint is Zenlaw / Denim 3. I think it has 2 names. Zenlaw or Deneb 3.
There's a hint for that, right?
Yes. The hint is Scrollos. Scrollos.
Scaro. No, Scrollos.
Scrollos.
I'm also going to say Babylon 5 because I have no idea.
Incorrect. The correct answer is the Marvel Comics universe. Zenlaw is where the Silver Surfer is from. Scrollos is where
shit.
the Scrolls are from.
Our go-to answer is probably going to be Babylon 5.
Yeah.
Okay, Brian, you're going to continue on with your
19.
19. Might be able to get this one for 2 points. The first hint is Zeebs. Zeebs.
Oh. Oh, this sounds familiar.
And there's a hint if you want it.
I'll take a hint.
The hint is one of the easiest hints in the game, I feel like. Space Pirate Homeworld.
Oh, Metroid.
Correct, for 1 point.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, are you guys going to continue
Okay.
going
yeah,
on
8,
your...
8.
7?
Oh, it's 7.
Oh, 7, right. Yeah.
You might be able to get this one for 2 points. First hint, Dark Side. There is a hint.
Hint.
Hint is actually easier than the last one. This is the easiest hint in the game.
You keep saying that.
Krypton.
I'm gonna go with Superman. Final answer.
Yeah, Superman or DC Comics would have also been
Oh,
acceptable.
DC. Yeah, right.
But Superman is perfectly acceptable.
It's their
1
universe,
point for
right.
that. 1 point for that.
I'll go with 18.
18? I don't know, maybe.
I clearly chose the worst path.
Yeah, well, I mean, to some degree, I've tried to switch it up a little bit, but it's
Yeah.
also in what order they came to me. 18, then, is Reach. There's two hints.
Halo.
Halo is correct for 2 points.
Damn it.
Never even played it.
Second one was
Well,
Harvest.
I've played it.
Harvest was the other clue.
Okay.
Yeah, you were on 8, which is worth
8.
2 points.
Okay.
So the clue is, there's 2 clues. First one is SETI Alpha 5.
SETI.
SETI Alpha 5.
Hint.
Konos, but it's pronounced like Kronos. It's spelled QO-NO capital S.
Kronos.
It's pronounced Kronos.
Babylon 5.
Ooh, Star Trek.
Really?
Yep, SETI Alpha 5 is from Wrath of Khan.
Oh.
Kronos is the planet that the Klingons hail from.
That's right.
I am now super bummed out.
Okay, Brian.
17.
Okay, it's a tough one unless you know the property. Getty Prime. There's 2 hints. Getty Prime is the first one.
Second hint, please.
Arrakis.
Arrakis.
These all sound really familiar, but not.
Starship Troopers?
Incorrect. Dune.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
So you are up
See,
to...
it's just-
If you're going on your same path, you're up to 9, Pat.
Yeah. It's just that, like, any sci-fi or fantasy, it's just like, they just throw a ton of names at you. It's like, Kronos, who's the Prince of Algathol, was Spanish to his
Well,
Ilon.
it's a tough category. It's a tough category, but hey, I think it's a good
You're
one.
really
it's
putting
a-
us through our paces.
I think
it's-
it's a good call for a game.
Absolutely.
So
but-
you're going to go ahead and keep on going to 9?
Yes, yeah.
9. There's 2 hints. First one, Virgon.
Battlestar Galactica.
Correct for 2 points.
Why did I not
I was
get...
really hoping to get those, because
Second hint was Geminon.
it has a naming convention, so
Yeah. Right.
it's all,
Okay,
Aquarium. 16.
16. Maybe you can get this 2 points. First one is Ire, spelled A-I-U-R. Ire.
StarCraft.
Starcraft. Second
I
hint
would
was
not have-
Core Hall.
I would not have gotten that one. Not a StarCraft player.
So, scores right now, Pat 9, myself 7.
Oh, it's a pretty close
It's
game.
a close one.
10 for you, Pat.
10. I'm gonna take
All
10.
right. The two hints. First hint, Miranda.
Miranda.
You can ask for a second hint if you want.
I know it's a real moon, but I can't say real life, right?
No,
This is pop
no.
culture. Okay, hint. Then.
Whitefall.
Whitefall. Oh, Firefly.
Correct. Firefly for 1 point.
I would have sworn the hint was like Earth that was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's technically Earth, so.
True.
If you said
15.
Earth, I would just like
15. Maybe you need this 2 points. I
would
don't know.
just bail.
First planet, there's 2 hints. First one, Junk/Junkion. Junk/Junkion.
Is that a planet full of heroin addicts?
I'm not saying what it's a planet full of.
Sounds like it's a planet full of junk. It's the Sanford and Son planet.
I'll take a hint.
You
Pretty
really
easy
get the
hint.
spaceship.
I think you'll get this. Cybertron.
Cybertron?
Come on. Do you know, Pat?
Babylon 5, definitely.
Babylon 5.
Oh, I thought this was pretty famous. I thought people knew this. Do you give up?
I give up.
Transformers.
Oh, fuck.
I don't give a shit about
I spent
that.
so much time in the last 5 years distancing myself from Transformers.
Yeah,
I'm
I don't
fine
know.
with watching,
Junkion. I think it only appears in the animated series.
I mean, it makes sense that, but like, it's something that I can't pay attention to it anymore because it's
Alright,
just
Pat,
kind
are
of
you
like
going-
the cartoons are fine.
Pat, are you going for number 11?
Yes.
All right. One clue only for this one.
Ooh.
Orc.
Orc. Have you broken the Star Treks up into the original series and
No.
okay? I was
Babylon 5.
Who comes from orc?
Farscape. I don't know.
Oh, the correct answer is Mork from Orc.
Oh, fuck.
From Mork and Mindy.
See, I was thinking sci-fi or video games.
Yeah,
so.
well, gotta keep it tough.
I'm surprised how many planets there are in...
All right, Brian, I think you're up to
things.
14. We're coming in on the end.
14.
Melmac.
Only one hint, Melmac.
Melmac.
Yeah.
Melmac. Alf?
Alf is correct.
Oh,
for 1 point.
shit.
Fuck yes.
I could have sworn it was Joni Loves Chachi.
All right, Pat.
Same thing.
We're almost out.
They both love eating
Pat, are you
pussy.
going to take 12? Pat?
Yeah, I'll take 12.
Two hints. Hint 1, Food Cordia.
Damn it. It sounds like a comedy of a mall that's in space.
Space Mall.
Space Mall,
There's
is
the
that
second hint.
I will take the second hint.
The second hint is Irk or Irkin. Probably Irk.
Irk. Family Matters.
No. Correct answer is Invader Zim.
Okay.
I'll take 13.
Final one.
Is it worth 2
Only
points?
1 point.
So I can't win.
I clinched a victory!
I'll give it to you anyway. I'll be impressed if you get this. It's, not bad.
That won't help.
LV-426. LV-426.
LV-426.
Classic sci-fi series.
A Babylon 5.
No.
Babylon 5.
The correct answer is the Alien series.
Oh, fuck. That's right.
The Alien series. So what is the final
That
score,
answer
Brian?
was practically bursting out of my chest.
Final score, Patrick 10. Woo!
Brian 8.
Yeah!
Oh, a victory for Brian Flynn. For Pat Medaugh. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Bring the standings to 2, 2, and 0 because I always get stupid Law and Order shit.
Wait, what is the...
That's a
trivia that I
callback
can
to
do?
episode 2.
Your category was...
It was the celebrity names one.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
like
yeah.
general Hollywood trivia shit.
Which
so-
I know like the back of my hand. I think that brings
us to a close for another
A
episode.
wistful close. A lot of laughs.
What did we
I
do
think.
this week?
What did we learn?
We learned a lot this week.
We learned that you should review us on iTunes.
Yes, you really should.
We learned that we have a show at the Interstate on August 8th and an open mic on August 15th at the Rooster and Moon. That's the Interstate, August 8th, Rooster and Moon,
We learned that
August 15th.
Cool Dog keeps it cool.
We learned that Cool Dog is not someone you should make angry.
We learned that
We
the
learned that-
coolest way to spell cool is with a C and an L because only posers.
Use a K or a Z.
Or umlauts.
Yes.
When it comes down to
Neo-Nazis
it,
use umlauts.
when it comes down to a
And
traditional
neo-Nazis are
spelling,
losers.
traditional spelling is
with an
Go-
umlaut.
I'm
at the end of the day.
Losers.
We learned that if you're cool enough, you can get away with murder.
Yep.
Uh,
Until Johnny Scoops comes to find you.
yeah.
We
But
learned-
that's at a later date. We learned that there are good bad movies and not just bad movies out
We
there.
did indeed.
You have to sift through a lot.
We learned that we had probably our most intense argument on the show ever about
I
Harry
agree.
Potter.
I still hate you guys.
We can look forward to more of those, hopefully, when
My
we come up with more
relationship will never
controversial
be the
subject matter.
same.
And we learned that Patrick, the sassy parrot Medaugh, has come from behind and tied the overall trivia
We learned that
scores.
Mork is from Mork.
We learned that Mork is... I learned a lot about planets. God, there's so many of them.
That
Starship
Brian,
Troopers,
the
I
affable
forgot
hobo
Starship
Flynn, not as well versed on fictional planets as Pat, the sassy
Yeah,
parrot.
in one of the most simple things I can say, there's a lot of planets.
Fake
Jeez.
planets. Rigel 4 is a real place.
Fake planets, but there's also a good amount of real planets. I don't think it would really take a lot to just go out and name them Orc. Or, in fact, if we do end up naming planets, numbers and letters, that's out. We need to start naming them after beloved sci-fi and zany sitcom planets.
Well, I feel that we have taken enough of your time, dear listeners.
Wait, Now I
we've
feel we've taken enough of your
Okay.
time.
So, a cordial goodbye from Zach, the totalitarian landlord Powers.
which is a reference you now understand.
Again, the sassy parrot here, and, have yourself a good day.
And this is Brian, the affable hobo, saying, "Don't touch my bindle."
So long.
So long. Cool dog.
I was going for a guitar solo.
Cool dog!